What's up? In this video, I wanted to break down the Breath of the Wild any % speedrun. I ran this category on Breath of the Wild for a while, and I feel very confident in talking about it and breaking it down. Before I start the video, I really wanted to break down the 4 main glitches in the game so that I'm not explaining it while the run is happening. The first glitch of the game that I really wanted to break down is called whistle sprinting, and it's a core mechanic of the speedrun. So whistle sprinting is basically when you press down on the D-pad and also spam the B button, making Link sprint at the same time. This causes Link to hold his hands up to his face like he's whistling, but he's actually sprinting a little bit slower than the normal full sprint. This allows us to run at a faster pace than we normally would while regenerating stamina. It can also allow us to run up walls that we wouldn't normally be able to get up with the amount of stamina we have. The next glitch that I'm going to explain is called a wind bomb. This is definitely the hardest of any of the glitches that you have to perform in the game just because of the timing. So to wind bomb, I have to jump, placing a circle bomb, and pressing the ZR button at the same time, putting me into bullet time. Once in bullet time, I'll press up on the D-pad and swap over to the square bombs. I would then let off the D-pad, drop a square bomb, then swap back to the circle bombs, blow up the circle bomb, and this will propel me really far. This is very precise, but it allows me to get up to places I wouldn't normally be able to get up to. The next glitch that I want to explain is called a shield clip. The shield clip is what we're going to be using to actually clip into all of the shrines in the game. To perform this, the first thing you have to do is set up what's called a skew. A skew is set by Link shield jumping onto some kind of slanted wall. After doing this, you can shield jump again, removing his shield, and this will show you Link skewing. If you perform this again at the right angle on the right wall, you can actually push him through the wall with the skew. This allows us to clip into stuff like shrines pretty easily. The final glitch that I want to explain is actually one of the more recent ones added to the run and has completely changed the routing for the entire run. This glitch is called the Bow Lift Smuggling Slide, also known as BLSS, or Bless. To perform a Bless, I need to stand in front of a bomb or a pot and hold my shield out in front of me. While holding my shield out in front of me, I need to press ZR and A at the same time to pick it up while also putting my bow in my hand. This will lift the bomb or the pot over Link's head while also holding his bow in his hand at the same time. After doing this, all you have to do is jump while also pressing B and menu at the same time. Then while in menu, we just remove Link's shield and leave the menu. After that, you can see that he still has everything in his hands. Then all I have to do is press ZR to pull back his bow and arrow, and then press B to cancel it, and you'll see that he'll have the bomb in one hand and the bow and arrow in the other. This is all the setup, and afterwards all you have to do is hold B and run up to a ledge that's just high enough to make you do the step up animation. All I have to do now is just keep holding B and not let the stick zero out. While I'm in this floating state, I can actually use the left stick to turn around and wiggle the stick to propel me forward. This is actually one of the core mechanics of the run and is used to get us to the castle in a timely manner. Now that I've explained all the glitches that are going to be used in this run,
open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up, Link.
Okay, now that that's out of the way, the run begins with me running into this corner of the Shrine of Resurrection, and if I turn my camera so that I'm facing out and spam the scope, I can actually force Link through the wall and under the shrine. This allows for us to skip the intro cutscene and the daytime and weather cycles never start, which is a lifesaver for the run. After whistle sprinting up this wall out of bounds, I can crouch under the floor barrier in a very specific spot, and when I uncrouch, it actually clips us back through to the surface. Here I will begin alternating whistle sprinting and running, being careful to stop whistle sprinting when I get close enough to the bokoblins that they would hear me. Once I get over this ledge, I'm going to attempt to grab the shield and the spear from the bokoblin camp fast enough that the bokoblins don't have time to pick them up and without being hit by the bokoblins. If you mess up the pathing for this one, the bokoblins could easily grab the shield or spear, and that's an automatic reset. Next, I'm going to run back and grab 4 mushrooms and 6 peppers, and while this is slightly slower, it provides me with a safety net for if I have any trouble during the early wind bomb or the cryo segment. Now I'm just going to shield surf down this hill until Zelda stops me with some dialogue. Once the dialogue is over, I shield surf again to save a little time and begin the setup for the first shield clip. The next trick is pretty fast, so I just want to let it play out first at full speed, and then I'm going to break it down. Okay, so to set this up, I'm going to run up to this wall, climb on it, and jump twice. Then I'm going to drop down and almost immediately perform a shield jump, causing me to hit the lip there, and it actually sets a skew for me on the edge. Then I just climb up to the window, set up the shield clip by aiming my spear at a specific spot and shield jumping while removing my shield mid-jump, clipping me through the wall. Next, I'm just going to open up this chest to grab the bow that I'm going to be using for almost the entire run. Then I'm going to grab this pot and throw it at the wall to get the 5 arrows, and then perform a neutral shield jump because there's a glitch that causes me to drop the second pot if I don't. Then I'm going to perform the first BLSS of the run, and I have a pretty interesting running with the bokoblin here. After setting this up, I'm going to maneuver out of the temple and jiggle my left stick to carry me all the way over to the bomb shrine. Then I'm going to perform a damage cancel by letting go of the stick to fall, aiming my spear and throwing it and unequipping it right before it leaves my hand. So our skew actually carried over from our last clip, so once I'm on the ground, I'm going to line up my angle by aiming at a point on the minimap and shield clipping through both layers of the shrine. Now that we are in the shrine, we just grab bombs as usual and prepare for one of the most annoying glitches in the run. I actually am so bad at this wind bomb that I mess up the first try here, and it's pretty embarrassing. This might blow me up, by the way. Yeah, I knew it would. I hate myself. I hate everything. Luckily, on the second attempt, I got a decent wind bomb, and I didn't end up losing too much time on the whiff. What is wrong with me, bro? What is wrong with me? Now, because of the whiff, I actually took a lot of damage, so mid-air I'm actually going to have to eat some peppers to bring my health back up to keep from dying from fall damage. Then I'm just going to throw a precise bomb to break these rocks and finish out the shrine as usual. I'm going to keep going because we saved a lot of time in the beginning, enough that the missed wind bomb might actually be okay. You've beaten Matt 1/4. After we're done listening to King Rome Bosphoromus Hyrule talk about some nonsense in French, we're actually going to run up to this wall and perform a really iffy BLSS by placing a bomb on the wall and praying it doesn't fall off. Now I'm just going to wiggle my way over to the Magnesis Shrine, trying not to bump into the rock surrounding the tower that we never activated. He didn't drown, he's not real. Once at Mag, I damage cancel and set up an extremely precise shield clip by lining up on a spot on the ground and setting skew on the back of the shrine. Then I just use a lineup near the water and perform a shield clip to clip into the shrine. Once in, we line up and clip in again. That was good, sub 7 on that. Okay, so here's the shrine broken down. Basically, I'm going to run up to these rocks on the ground and try and line link up on top of them. Then I'm going to neutral shield jump. Use my spear to aim at this line right here. Jump twice, and then mid-second jump, I'm going to shield jump on the edge. Then I'm going to run over and use an audio cue to hear when my right foot has dipped into the water, line my spear up at the center of this circle, then I'm going to jump, and at the peak of the jump, shield surf jump, and remove my shield mid-jump. This is going to clip me through the wall. Imagine being little kid me. You're just chilling, and then you just see this thing, bro. Okay, now that we've picked up Mag, we're actually just going to run through the shrine almost entirely the way it was intended, minus a trick near the final door. So when I get to this edge, I'm actually going to jump off, and in mid-air, I'm going to shield jump, extending the jump and allowing me to jump all the way across, then removing my shield mid-air to not do any damage to the shield. Now that the shrine's done, it's time for one of the hardest splits in the entire run, Stasis. Once I'm out of this shrine, I beeline left so that I can climb up this wall next to me. Once up, I equip bombs and set up a pretty easy BLSS that I can activate on the ledge right in front of Link. Now I'm going to wiggle to a spot that's just left of the bridge that has a really good piece of rubble that I can set up another BLSS on. That's alright. Let's go Nintendo in the mid-2000s with the Wii. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, the Wii. Once I've started the second BLSS, I have to wiggle through a bunch of trees and rubble without bumping into any of them and making my way all the way over to a very specific tree next to the cabin. Now I just neutral shield jump to remove any ragdoll issues before wind bomb and save in case I mess this up. This is the hardest wind bomb in the entire run, so I usually expect to miss it at least once. Now I jump up this tree in a way that I can get all the way to the top without zeroing out my stamina. Then I aim at a very small point on the wall and perform a mid-air wind bomb off of the tree to launch Link up to the top of the wall. Once on top of the wall, we already have skews, so I just set angle and shield clip through the shrine. This shrine is a lot like Mag, whereas once we pick up stasis, we can run through the shrine almost completely as intended, minus a trick at the end of the shrine where we perform an extended shield jump that we call the swag strat to get around having to move the final boulder.
There are a lot of PS2 consoles. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Now we are headed to our fourth and final shrine, which is Cryonis. Once we leave the shrine, I'm going to run up to the cliff next to the shrine and climb up to the top.
Yes, sir. My boy got the statistics in the...
Once I get to the top of this wall, I'm actually going to fell a tree and use this stump to set up a BLSS that's going to carry me all the way to Cryonis.
Let's go to the numbers. Call me dead meat.
The lineup on this BLSS is a little precise on the stump, but it's a lot more lenient when using the circle bomb. Then I have to wiggle to try and maneuver my way around this cliffside while trying to straighten back out to head towards the shrine.
Honestly, I might just stick with that. That's a manageable BLSS.
Now that I'm at Cryo, I'm going to set up skew using the side of the shrine and then clip in using a lineup.
Yes, sir.
This is where the peppers come in handy.
That's a skew, uh-huh. Yes, sir. Line up right here. Oh, line up right here. Clip in. Ah.
So here's that broken down. I neutral shield jump and then use my spear to line up on this beam. Then I shield jump and try and hit this spot to set skew. Then I'm going to shield jump and remove shield to try and check for the angle on the skew here. Now I line my head up under this dot and jump to set my angle. Jump left, then I pull out my shield, lining myself up on this edge and shield clipping into the shrine. I have to crouch under some geo here, and then line the top of the crosshair with the tip of this peak. Then I can just clip in. After picking up Cryo, I'm going to set up a wind bomb next to the pillar to send Link straight up to the monk without having to run through the shrine. Once out of the shrine, we have one step left to complete the plateau.
Skip and still PB. I got this, bro.
I set up a BLSS using Geo in front of the shrine and wiggle all the way to the top of the Temple of Time where I'm going to perform a damage cancel to get up to King Rome.
There's an obscure console called the Hyperscan that had 5. It's made by Mattel. Oh, really? Leave it to Mattel. Oh, is it sub?
After having a nice cutscene skip fest with King Rome, he gives us the paraglider and I begin the second half of the run, Hyrule Castle. I'm going to begin by climbing up the side of the temple and setting up a BLSS on the ledge at the top that will have to be jump started at the top of the wall next to it. This is the most exciting segment of the whole run, where I get to wiggle my left stick until I get all the way over to some trees where I can pick up some razor shrooms that I'll need for the boss fight.
Because the power glove was cool too. Oh, Mattel made it for Nintendo. Yeah, because Nintendo would have needed a lot. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I didn't realize Mattel was the one that put that out, but that actually makes some sense. Dude, my BLSS has evolved. I've gotten so much better at gaining speed. It's been saving my butt.
Once I get close enough to the trees, I can drop down and pick up these shrooms.
For 19 minutes, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Then I just walk over towards these trees and blow up one of the trees with a circle bomb. Then I pick up the last of the razor shrooms and turn around and set up a BLSS on the stump of the tree we just blew up. This BLSS is going to send us all the way to the castle. Once I'm in the air, I'm going to attempt to wiggle fast enough that I can get all the way to the castle before the doors have loaded in. If I move too fast though, this will cause frame stops that will actually make the door load in faster. So it can be pretty tricky getting over here without the door loading in, especially considering that if the door loads in, it's pretty much a reset.
And that they had like a motel or something. Like a sexy motel business. It was something like that. $1889 or 1989? 1889? What? That's crazy.
Once I'm at the castle, I'm going to fly through the unloaded gate and drop down from the top of the stairs. While flying down, I shoot this moblin in the eye to give myself time to set up a sneak strike on him after the cutscene is skipped. After dropping, I pick up the claymore and then attempt to line myself up before the cutscene starts.
Awesome. The Game Boy is lit.
After sneak striking, I pick up his claymore and use the weapon sprint glitch to run without alerting anyone with whistle, and this is done by spamming the run and weapon throw button at the same time. Once at the top of the stairs, I'm going to drop down so that I can grab a claw out of the chest that will be used for the damage up food for the boss fight. Now I just blow up this wall and collect the ancient arrows out of the chest inside, praying that some extra arrows drop nearby.
25 years old this year? Oh my gosh. Wait, Ocarina turned 25 this year? What?
Now I'm going to throw a square bomb at the top of these stairs to get the attention of a Lizalfos, allowing me to sneak strike him and take his boomerang.
Okay, that's the one thing I was worried about right there. Every once in a while, that will go horribly wrong for no reason.
Then I just use an arrow to light the fire and cook the damage up item that I'll need for the boss fight. Afterwards, I run through this hall and shoot an eye up on the ceiling that's going to clear the malice out of the way.
Oh, look at my copy of Ocarina. Is it written on there in the date? Yeah. That's crazy. I just didn't realize it was so old.
Once clear, I run up through this door and use a bomb to blow up another eye that's blocking our path in this room.
2023.
After that, I run around this pillar and pick up a sword and shield that I'm going to need for the boss fight later.
This is a good run.
Now I'm going to run up this stairwell and perform a wind bomb off of the ledge that is crazy sketchy to do without getting shot by the Guardian. Once up here, I shoot an arrow at the ground to lure away the moblin, allowing me to jump down and sneak strike him. I then steal his weapon and collect the bow and arrows in this room.
No sparrow, that's fine. Okay.
Then I'm going to climb up this wall and wait for this Guardian to disappear so I can go outside and set up the last wind bomb of the run. If done correctly, this will send me all the way to the final boss fight.
Nice. Get over the wall. We're gonna be a little bit behind on the segment.
Once inside, I set up an extremely precise trick where I start the cutscene and shoot an arrow at the same time. If it is done right, the arrow will lodge itself in the Blight's eye, killing him at the start of the fight.
Please. Please. Oh my gosh, I have to have hit the skip. You turn the music off. Okay, that's it.
If the Blight's head is bobbing like this, then we know the trick worked. So this begins a very choreographed set of fights with the 3 Blights that only has a little bit of RNG. I'll start by baiting Waterblight's spear and charging a claymore spin that will send him all the way to half health, triggering his second phase.
Okay. I gotta calm down. My heart's pounding a little bit. Stressing.
The Water Blight is going to fly up into the air into 2 different locations, so I just have to run to the side that he's going to and line up a shot on his eye that will make him fall, allowing me to charge another claymore spin.
I didn't get 5th, but that's fine. Do we get spare arrow? We do.
I repeat this again, and this ends the Water Blight segment. Now, Fire Blight is a little tricky because if you mess up the timing on the first paralysis, you'll probably die. But after paralysis, you can get him to drop for long enough that you can just finish out the first phase right there.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Waiting is a wasting for people like me. How did I lose 30 seconds on Castle? That's crazy. My opinion of Pokemon. I love old Pokemon.
For second phase, I place a bomb on the ground and blow it up right as it goes behind him to propel him toward me, allowing for me to get a lot of damage in on him before he stands back up. After he stands back up, I throw the sword at him that we picked up in the castle that breaks his block and allows for me to kill him without getting the chance to attack, ending Fire Blight fight.
Okay, here we go. No bad Thunderblight RNG. Watch him fly up.
The last Blight is Thunderblight, and this is really where the run can end, because there's a lot of RNG with Thunderblight where he can just randomly dodge things and kill you without you having time to react. But after dropping him the first time, I used the Claymore to get him right down to half health and then throw and break the Claymore on him to trigger the second phase. In his second phase, the goal is usually to dodge the metal spears and pick one up and use it to strike the Thunderblight with his own lightning, but for this fight, I can actually wait out his metal drop and throw a boomerang at the audio cue to break his shield, allowing me to shoot him out of the sky. I then pick up the boomerang and use it to damage him and break his shield again. Then I just spin attack him until he dies, and this ends the blights and begins the Ganon fight.
Awesome. We're a minute and 2 seconds ahead right now.
Ganon has 3 phases, and his first phase by far is the scariest to fight. As soon as I can move, I shoot all of the ancient arrows into Ganon's head to bring his health down a bit. Then I bait out a slash and run backwards so that I can grab the bomb arrows. I then use the bomb arrows to bring his health down more before I have to initiate the combat.
I don't have stamina.
The rest of this phase is just reading his attacks and trying to counter them, so here he fireballs and I try to reflect it, but I actually miss.
Let's see if we can hit it. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We are okay. It blew on us. It blew on us.
Here he uses tornado and ice at the same time, so I have to break the ice without being swept by the tornado.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. I got a little nervous and went for fireball late. He should drop right here.
Once he drops, he charges a laser, which is going to be the easiest way for us to initiate damage on him. We have a quarter of a second to reflect his laser, but if we reflect it, we do crazy damage to him and can get some claymore hits on him.
Whatever. I need him to move. I need him to move. Or go for a laser, I guess. See if he'll go for a slash here.
After reflecting the second laser, I use Claymore to finish off his first phase, and here's where the run gets kinda goofy.
There it is.
In the second phase, we're waiting out a laser because if we can knock him down, we're actually able to lock him in a CC chain that allows us to 100 to 0 him without him ever attacking.
Laser! Oh my, why's he gotta climb on the wall? What's wrong with him? I'm not going for this, by the way. It's not worth it for me. 99% of the time, I missed that one.
Here I reflect a fireball, which drops him, and I can begin the CC chain.
There it is.
To do this, I'm going to hit him until I see his spear stick into the ground. As soon as it sticks, I wait half of a second and slam, causing him to immediately fall again, and I can keep repeating this process until I kill him.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slam. Yes, 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 yes. Slam. Yes, 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 yes. Slam. Focus, 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 focus. Focus, 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 focus. Yes! Oops.
After killing him, we are sent into his final phase, and I actually end the timer here on accident, so I had to retime the run, and the run ended up being about 35 minutes. For the final phase, we just played out exactly how it's meant to be completed by waiting out the arrow shots on him and waiting for Zelda to keep reading dialogue. This was a super exciting run for me, and this was my final PB before Tears of the Kingdom, so I'm just going to leave you to watch the end of the run in peace.
Dang it, I pressed the wrong button on my split. No, I got too excited.
Je vais contenir son aura maléfique. Mais je ne pourrai pas tenir très longtemps. Il te faudra viser les points lumineux. Je crois en ta victoire, Link.
Dude, yes! Right before Tears of the Kingdom, we get a PB. Let's go!
Décoche ta flèche dans la lumière.
Come on. That is what I'm talking about, baby. Get over here, horsey.
Le pouvoir de Ganon s'affaiblit.
Dude, I wish I knew what it was. I don't even know what the PB is gonna be until after I end stream.
Vise les points lumineux.
I won't even know.
Tu l'as blessé. Continue comme ça. Maintenant, Link.
No, I missed it. It's alright. Okay.
Tu y es presque. Encore un peu. Link, regarde. Sur sa tête.
Come on. Come on.
C'est les sons maintenant, Link. C'est la fin.
That's it. Ah! You! Dude, I'm shaking, bro. Oh! I was like, dude, I can feel it in my bones. Same day as Tears of the Kingdom comes out, I'm gonna go for this PB in the morning, and then we're gonna play Tears of the Kingdom at night. And then it happened!
So yeah, that was my any percent speedrun of Breath of the Wild. I hope you really enjoyed this video because I've never done anything like this before and I had a ton of fun making it. So let me know if you want to see me break down any more of my speedruns. I run like 28 different games, so I have a ton that I could do. I really appreciate you guys for watching this, and thanks to all of you who have been supporting my speedruns. Bye!
Well, excuse me, princess.